Welcome to Sales, Tax, and More, your go-to resource for all things state tax related. Now, here is your host, Michael Fleming.
Mike Fleming here. I'm the founder of Sales, Tax, and More, and today's host of the Sales, Tax, and More podcast, where we talk about everyone's favorite subject, of course. It's sales tax. And today I have Jeremy Weiss with us here, who's done thousands of interviews with successful entrepreneurs, CEOs, and we're going to flip the script today. And instead of me interviewing Jeremy, he's going to interview me.
Michael, thank you for having me. And just a brief introduction to you. If people don't know you, they should listen to more episodes, obviously. But Michael Fleming, I consider, and a lot of people consider, one of the USA's leading authorities when it comes to sales tax. And the episode is brought to you by Sales Tax and More. They assist companies and their trusted advisors with their sales tax needs. They offer consulting and research, registrations, returns, and much more. And over the years, they've assisted thousands and thousands of sellers, both foreign and domestic, with their tax issues in the United States and Canada. So if you have questions, go to salestaxandmore.com for more information. And, we were talking last time, Michael, about there's all these, great outcomes and happy endings. And we're like, well, why don't we talk about something that maybe didn't turn out so great? And there was one I kind of have here. Not everyone is a tax expert. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. And, since the Wayfair case, sales tax has been fairly big news. And it seems that everybody and their sister is all of a sudden a sales tax expert. And, there are lots of good people out there who know sales tax, but there are no or very little courses taught in school. And there are no questions on the CPA exam. Sales tax is something you learn by doing and accumulate knowledge over the years. So people jumping right in just don't have that depth of knowledge. And we have one case here where this is a company that's actually been around a while, and they should know better, because we heard this not just from one client, but multiple clients. And they're doing what we call voluntary disclosure agreements, which helps limit past exposure, but they're doing it they're not looking at what the clients are selling. So one client in particular comes from overseas, where pretty much everything is taxable. And they come to the U.S. here, and they see all of this past exposure they have. They're selling on Amazon. They've crossed thresholds, so they want to make sure that they're getting this done correctly. So this company does these voluntary disclosures for them, where they pay in a bunch of money to the state. And, it really is a great tool, but it's not for everybody. And what they did is they made them pay tax on non-taxable items. So now they're taking money out of their pocket and paying it to the state when there was no need to do that. It just wasn't any exposure there. And, that's bad. Eventually, they realized what was going on. They contacted us, and we were able to go back to some of these states and be able to get a refund.
Once you give the state money, I'm sure they want to give it back, right?
Yeah, exactly. And the language in some VDAs says that you can't get it back, that it's a final settlement. So that was another problem. So there were a bunch of states that we just couldn't get that money back. You gotta, just because someone says they're a tax expert, you gotta, get comfortable with their knowledge level in order, before you trust them to represent you in whatever assistance you do need.
Are we talking about a lot of money they couldn't recoup, or?
Yeah, it was probably about $15,000, $20,000 in total between the states. So
it's a costly mistake.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't want to be someone's first surgery. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Let them make their mistakes on someone else.
How can someone tell if they're talking to someone knowledgeable? Like, they probably saw the firm has been around for a long, long time, and they're trustworthy. even though they don't specialize in sales tax? Is there an indicator people should look at when realizing this person, this firm is experienced or not?
Well, ask them how long they've been offering sales tax services. So they may have been around forever, but if they've just started offering sales tax services, and maybe they hired someone who's a sales tax expert, and that's why they're doing it. So, just, a couple of questions, asking about their current client base, who they're offering these types of services to, how long they've been doing it, who do they have doing it? Is it the entire firm, or do they have a subject matter expert on hand who all of this goes through? And those are the types of questions. And as you're talking to the person who's making the decisions, just get a feel for whether you're comfortable with their knowledge level. I mean, does it make sense? If it doesn't make sense, or if you are scratching your head and saying, hey, this doesn't sound right, it often isn't.
Yeah. I compare it to the doctor. Like if you go to the family practitioner and you want heart surgery, they're like, oh yeah, we'll test this out. Or yeah, I have someone from the practice. No, I want someone who all they do is heart surgeries all day long, or whatever the specialty is. And I think it applies here too. If you have someone who's really good at some general tax stuff, it doesn't mean that they necessarily are experts at the sales tax piece. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. And there's an analogy I like out there. Since you use the medical analogy, a lot of these people who are new to the party are like, the trusted advisor. That's like that family practitioner. And, family practitioner, they're going to run some tests. They're going to talk to you. See how you feeling. If there's something wrong, they're going to refer you to a specialist. So, I think that all CPAs and, financial advisors, accountants, and, everyone along those lines should know a little bit so that they can help protect their clients. These guys are the ones who are speaking to their clients on a regular basis, and it can help their clients understand that there may be issues that they have, and then bring in a subject matter expert if they don't have one on staff already.
Got it. Thank you for sharing, Michael. It's something that doesn't always turn out hunky-dory in the end. So if you have questions, go to salestaxandmore.com. And, I always tell people, Michael, I don't care who you have doing your taxes or whatever, always get a second opinion. And I know, you can have their firm do a consultation with you and get an assessment and see, do some diagnostics and see where you're at. So check out salestaxandmore.com. Michael, thank you for having me.
Thanks, Jeremy.
Thanks for listening. Be sure to click subscribe and check out all of the resources we have out on the web.